And on this week's episode of Southern Assassins, follow me as we look back on one of my favorite hunts from the 2018-2019 season. I had just gotten back from the ATA show, and I decided to do a last-minute hunt. The place I decided to go has always produced for me late season. This is one of those places that gives you hope, knowing that it's not over until you fill all your tags or until the sun goes down on the last day. Come join me on my adventure.
Yes, sir.
Dead deer running, baby.
Thank you, Lord, for blessing us with another day of your great outdoors.
King Jesus, Southern pride. Where I come from, things haven't changed. Still living in them good old days. If you ain't about to sell, shut your mouth. You ain't got nothing to say. When them good
I just shot a nice 8-point.
I'm here hunting in Georgia. It's a little bit rainy today. It's raining off and on. It's not raining right now, but there's supposed to be a little bit of rain coming in a little bit later this evening. So I've got a 7-pointer that's been coming in pretty frequently. So it's a wacky looking deer. It's really tall, not very wide, and it's got a kicker off its G2. So if it comes in this afternoon, I'm gonna lay the smack down on it. So stay tuned. facing me. I think a little bit. My scope was a little bit foggy, but I'm gonna have to go back and review the footage, but I think that's a dead deer. You know, sometimes you make a perfect shot on that animal and you watch it fall. And other times, like me during this hunt, you make a shot that's questionable and you really don't know how far that animal's gonna go or how long that animal could survive. See, after I made that shot and got down and reviewed the footage, I realized I didn't know how far it went. We tracked for about 150 yards that night, and then we decided to back out. We hit this big open field and figured the deer could be laid up in that field, and we didn't want to jump it. Good chance if you jump a deer that's injured, you may never find him again, even if he dies. So we backed out, and it was a hard night's sleep, it was. But came back in the morning and started the search.
Well, I'm here at the truck, and I'm nervous this morning. I shot a good buck last night, and tracked it for about 150 yards, and then I let it lay. So it opened up into a big field, and we figured it was probably bedded in that field, so we decided to back out. And so now I'm just waiting for the sun to come up, and then I'm gonna go into that field in daylight and see what I can see. So I'm really hoping and praying that it's just dead in that field, and we did the right thing. So stay tuned, and hopefully it turns out good. There's my arrow, about maybe 15-20 yards from impact. So I was really worried last night that it was broke off. The broadhead's up here pretty soon, so we'll see it in a second. I'm glad we found it, so. Well, this is one heck of a way to end the Georgia season. Getting me a good old buck. I tell you what, it was kind of stressful how it ended up last night. I shot the deer around 5:40 or so, and thought I made a really good shot. I went to go tracking and thought at about 150-200 yards into a big field, and I just didn't feel good, so we backed out, and I came home and didn't get any sleep. Decided to go back in the morning, and I started to grid the field and check it out, and I was about to give up hope, and I decided to walk the edge of the field in a different direction and found him laying there. So the coyotes had got to him, so it's time to do some predator control. But I'm glad I found them, and I couldn't be any happier.
Well, that's all for this week's episode of Southern Assassins. Join us next week as our buddy Sam kills a big Mississippi buck. Thanks for watching.